Going to the fair. So apparently this fair comes to our county once a year, but it's our first time here. Instead of buying tokens for each ride separately, I ended up paying $40 per person for these bracelets that are unlimited for the full day. We go on any rides we want and as many times as we like. We weren't sure if you're gonna stay all day. Came here at 3 o'clock and there was barely any people here. Maybe because it was too hot and they were kind of smart not to come here at this time. But honestly, it worked in our favor. There was no lines to any rides. We just walked in and enjoyed every single ride we wanted. This drop down one, I can't do that one anymore. I used to love going to Six Flags and all those huge roller coasters and thrill rides, but I'm not sure what happened to me now. I am such a baby. I am so scared of them now. I don't know what it is, but we're just gonna have to learn to live with that. Bumper cars is my safety zone. We had so much fun. I'm pretty sure this was Emma and Milana's first time getting their own car, and that was exciting. Then we got to see Elsa. Well, I'm not sure if that was really Elsa. Maybe it was Elsa's cousin or something, but that's okay. It was extremely hot, and after going on all the rides, we got kind of hungry, and I knew if we wanted to get our money worth and go on another round for the ride, we will need to fuel up and cool off. We got stamps on our hands, which will allow us to come back anytime today, and we headed to Chick-fil-A. Our friends ended up joining us. They actually moved to a different state a couple years ago, and they were visiting, and it was so nice to get to see them. The kids grew up so much, and they barely even remembered each other, but it was really nice to reconnect and get some lunch together. And they had no further plans for today, so they ended up going to the fair with us. You guys, when we came back, it was packed. The line to the front door was probably an hour long. It was completely different experience from what we had 2 hours ago. But honestly, even though it was super nice to not have any people here and be able to go on all the rides without waiting in line, having people at this fair was so much different. It added to the atmosphere, it added to the whole experience. And that made me realize that sometimes crowded places are even more fun than just being at the place all by yourself. We got to go on all the rides once again. The Music Express was the one we were waiting for the most. It was closed earlier, so we didn't get to go. Emma and Milana were not able to come because they needed an adult with them, so I ended up going with Max while they waited with my friends. And we watched the fireworks. Of course, they weren't anything like 4th of July, but it was still nice and enjoyable. The kids had a great time, and so did we. Then very quickly we split up. I took Emma to the bathroom while everybody else was still going on other rides. And since we had a little bit of time to ourselves, we quickly sneaked on to the Music Express. But there was no music playing, and the ride shut down halfway through because it started to rain. And I mean rain extremely hard. By the time we got off the ride, there was literally no people at the park. Everybody just ran and hid from the rain. And we were all the way at the end of the park. Also, not knowing what my other 2 kids are. Well, they're with my friends, but I don't know where the friends are. You guys, we were soaked. At first, we tried to keep it cool, but eventually we just gave up and decided to let it rain on us. The camera does not do justice. When I say we're soaked, it looked like we jumped in the pool. There was puddles everywhere. We finally found our friends, and they were just as soaked as we were. And who knew that this rain that technically ruined this beautiful sunny day ended up being the highlight of the day. And I mean it in the best way possible. Now it's just a core memory that will live with us forever.